'Twas the night before rent day, and all through the house white acrid smoke wafted from a drug addict louse. The bills lay unpaid in a pile on the table. For steady employment he never was able. The children were starving like they'd never been fed, 'cause the money to feed them fed his habits instead. Lima in her muumuu and Frank in his hat had gone to bed angry after one of their spats, when outside the door there arose such a clatter. ACS was here and Frank emptied his bladder. Away to the toilet he ran in a flash. He emptied his pockets and flushed his whole stash. The place was a mess. He had nowhere to go. He'd not yet come down from those 5 lines of blow, when what in front of his bloodshot eyes did appear, a devious plan that would keep him in the clear. He sprang into action, surprisingly quick, playing the victim, his usual trick. ACS said, "As a father, you're lame, and here are the reasons that back up our claim. This pit is a mess, and the kids are not fed. We count 5 in this house, yet there's only 1 bed. Your drug-addled ways are the cause of it all. Now that we're here, you've got no time to stall." As all cowards do, he attempted to fly. A drug test was coming, and he knew he was high. So off to the kitchen for his clean jar of pee, hidden under the sink where no one could see. Acting offended, he said, all aloof, "What's the problem? I'm clean, and here is my proof." Taking out handcuffs, they said, "Turn around. A pot-smoking loser is not all we found." He was dressed like a slob, in a tie-dyed t-shirt. He appeared to be homeless, all covered with dirt. The bundle of charges that were now on his back were only the start of this righteous attack. His eyes, how they darted, his gaze, oh how shifty. Although not yet 40, he looked over 50. He took a deep breath and let out a sigh. 'Twas the moment he needed to think of a lie. The art of misdirection, he shifted the blame. Whining and crying, the man had no shame. He huffed about Greg, he fumed about Brian. Whatever they said, you can bet they were lying. The agents grew tired and their faces were wincing, for Frank's tall tales were not quite convincing. "My lies aren't working," he thought in his head. He knew he was losing and it filled him with dread. "The fault's not my own. It must be another. It's got to be Lima. She's a terrible mother." And laying the finger of blame on his wife and giving up her just to save his own life. So they took her away as she screamed and she cried, and away they all drove as Frank smiled inside. But I heard him exclaim, "Frank looks in effect. Now it's time for me to sit back and collect." Sort of gets you right here, doesn't it?
I just collected on your time.